think that this success of Pinky Doll, we are going to see more people wanting to be light-skinned by any means possible to elevate. And I feel like we are more comfortable with people doing that as a solution to colorism than to actually like uplift and look at colorism as a systemic oppression that is actually like ending people's lives, affecting people's mental health, affecting people's bodies. Like, it's not just like a joke, it's like a thing that people really live through.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's world. Hi y'all, my name is Mayowa. If you're new to my channel, I like to discuss topics around colorism, featureism, texturism, anything under the umbrella of anti-blackness. Today we are going to be talking about colorism. We're going to be discussing how Pinky Doll has been able to use AI to cosplay as light skin. Y'all know I like making up words. So we're calling this the light skinification of AI. So Pinky Doll is a live streamer who went viral for her NPC play.
Gang gang. Ice cream so good, thank you Jackie. Gang gang, gang gang, gang gang. Oh, special, gang gang.
NPC is a non-playable character, a term used to refer to people who are like background in video games and AI. This trend like really took off on TikTok. And I think that who made it viral at this time is Pinky Doll. She would do these like really animated responses, and a lot of her responses have just gone viral because of how she's delivering it, her voice and her aesthetic. Recently, Pinky Doll was at an awards show, and it has come to everyone's attention that she does not look like the character that she is cosplaying at, that in fact she is a brown-skinned girl, a monoracially black person.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
When I first saw Pinky Doll, I thought she was a racially ambiguous person. I did not know. I thought maybe she was mixed race, but she is significantly darker when we saw her outside of her character and outside of the internet. I'm seeing a lot of discourse online. I was seeing people who were really upset that she wasn't light-skinned. I was seeing a lot of people talk about how they wanted to cancel her because she wasn't as light as she had appeared. And I was also seeing another side of the internet of people who were really praising her and saying, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get to the top. I'm gonna talk about how I feel from a colorism standpoint and just what my thoughts are. When I saw Pinky Doll at the award show, I actually didn't even know that was her because she does look so different than what we see online. And then the next thought I thought was like, was this some kind of performance art? Like, is she like a Maria Abramovich? You know, is she like, I was like, you know, is this some kind of like cultural prank? You know, the only person I had ever seen that has like a similar parallel would have been Spice. If y'all know, Spice has a song. And in the song, like when Spice was promoting the song that she had, she like put out images of her really, really light, and that's how she went viral. And then she was doing it to bring attention to colorism. So I was like, is this what's going on with Pinky Doll? But it's not actually. I don't think it is, at least. So I have like conflicting feelings because on one end I'm like surprised. So on one end I'm surprised and I understand why she's doing it, but I do feel that this is a form of digital bleaching. And this is not something that I think that Pinky is the only person who does this. I think a lot of AI is naturally making everybody lighter. I'm gonna talk more about that later in the video. What I find really funny about this whole conversation is like people want to act like colorism doesn't exist, but as soon as her shade does not match who she shows online, everyone notices. Everyone can point it out. Everyone can say, why is she darker? Like, no one is acting like they can't see color or we're all one race. People are visibly pointing it out. So I'm like, if you can see a shade, when people change shades, then you definitely know that colorism exists. It's just what you want to choose to pay attention to, because there was people who were genuinely upset that she wasn't as light as she is. But my whole standpoint on this is that I don't know what Pinky's intentions were, but the filters that she uses lightens her skin, slenders her nose, and you know, she wears a blonde wig. So all of these things add into looking more racially ambiguous. And everyone can acknowledge that her doing these things was for her to be able to get her money and get ahead and get bigger accolades and grow quickly online. Like, she's making so much money from this genre. So we can accept that the illusion of her skin being lighter has given her access and mobility quicker than somebody who was dark skinned. That's what this is visibly showing, right? But praising her for doing that, praising her for saying, you know what, these algorithms are colorist and racist. So yeah, like use a lighter filter to get what you need to get to. That is the same thing, that's the same logic of people who bleach their skin. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Because the reason that people are bleaching their skin is because they know that being lighter is going to give them access to more opportunities. That's the truth. And if people could really be honest about colorism and say why people do certain things to survive, then we could have a serious conversation. Because digitally lightening your skin and physically lightening your skin, if you're getting money, like her work is online, right? So she's getting money online because she's appearing to be lighter than she is. When people really bleach their skin in real life, a lot of times they will get more money and move up quicker because they are perceived as lighter. So the real big issue here is the colorism. And the fact that people are more inclined to big up someone for trying to lighten their complexion online to make money than to actually address the biggest elephant in the room, which is colorism, and the fact that dark-skinned people and darker-skinned people have to essentially change who they are to succeed. Personally, I've had to really, like, over the years, I've really shifted my perspective on skin bleaching. Like growing up, I used to be just like really angry at people who skin bleached and stuff like that, and really like I had animosity. But with time, I've actually been able to shift that to compassion, in the sense where I'm like, this is a tool you're using. Like if you're dark skinned and you're bleaching, this is a tool you're using to move up in a system that does not want dark skinned people to move up. But like, I don't believe that bleaching should be promoted. I don't like when people promote bleaching products, because I feel like you are also promoting, you're promoting colorism, but I understand why people do it. I can see both sides. You know, I'm making up this word called digital light skinning because it's really a thing with like AI. And I've noticed these trends online, like multiple trends, right? There's one where like there's AI that is showing what the female version of you looks like. And every time it's a female version, it's literally lightening your skin, right? Because even AI knows that femininity needs to be lighter. There's also another filter that I'm seeing happening online, which shows you what your children are going to look like. And it doesn't matter how dark skinned the person is. Whenever they do these filters, all the children are light and have looser hair and have like more Eurocentric standards. I'm not even like I said, I don't blame people for how they're trying to survive in the system, but I do notice that people, like when they have these filters that make them look lighter, that make their nose like thinner, that make them have more Eurocentric standards, like their confidence really blows up. You know, like they really feel so like, you can tell that they find themselves attractive. And there is something, because we are in the time where we're seeing how filters changes how we view our self-worth. I think that there's going to be something around that, especially within the realms of colorism, because these filters are anti-Black. Like a lot of these filters are anti-Black. They are always lightening you. They're always making you look more Eurocentric. The truth is that the public perception of how we want people to look in the future is going to be light skin. That's why like Kenya Burris is booked and busy, because that man will not have nobody darker than the paper bag on any of these things, because he knows that like promoting a future that is like more mixed race, more racially ambiguous, more light skinned, all of those things is going to be translating to money. And I saw an article recently that in the year 2045, like this youngest generation, they are going to be like, the majority is not going to be white, right? So there's going to be more people who have more racial mixing, more just different ethnics, that like non-white ethnic groups. And I feel like, you know, these conversations about colorism is going to be even more crucial, and like having language to describe race and like how that's moving is going to be even more crucial, because there is an active pushing towards a light skindification. There is an active pushing towards people looking more mixed race. There's a girl called Dash Harris I follow online, and she is an Afro-Cuban. And I really like her content. And she said something in one of her videos, and I'm going to put it here.
And say that a lot of things happening in the US has been happening in Latin America for generations at this point. And so when it finally gets to the US, whatever issue, problem, challenge that comes out, it has already been happening in the region already. For example, they're recharacterizing slavery as something else. They're taking out, you know, the CRT. They're taking out any traces of any type of interrogation around white pathology. And I'm like, yeah, that's Latin America 101. Again, the idea of the post-racial, especially after Obama, right? The post-racial, I'm like, that's mestizaje. Hmm. I just think it's interesting. Like people really, these things don't happen in a vacuum. All of this is connected.
Something I found really interesting is how she says like the things that happen in Latin America, like sometimes it's like ahead, like it's kind of a precursor for like what's happening here. And I think when I think about like the way that Brazil's like marketing and South America's marketing is like a constant whitewashing where you rarely ever see dark skin Colombians, dark skinned Brazilians, right? Like everyone is like, there's this like fake, everyone is mixed race, we're post-racial like vibe. And even so where like there's this documentary that I saw about a woman who was crowned, I think it was like Miss Brazil or something, and then they took it away from her because she was so dark skinned. I'm gonna put the clip here. I think that's happening in the States, right? And I think that this success of Pinky Doll, we are going to see more people wanting to be light skinned by any means possible to elevate. And I feel like we are more comfortable with people doing that as a solution to colorism than to actually like uplift and look at colorism as a systemic oppression that is actually like ending people's lives, affecting people's mental health, affecting people's bodies. Like it's not just like a joke, it's like a thing that people really live through. Also, I want to give thanks to Amber Abundance because she was the one who sent me this video idea. Also, Amber Abundance and I have a live that we've done together that's exclusive on my Patreon. You can check that out for more details. But
when we start talking about colorism, I can talk about being Black all day long. Oh, white people this, white people that, and people be like, yes. But when I bring up colorism and fat phobia, that's when people think I'm exaggerating, specifically Black people, right?
I don't know what y'all think. Like, do you feel like how do you feel about the AI's like light skindification? How do y'all like the words that I made up? What are your thoughts about like Pinky Doll and this whole AI trend? If you've made it to the end, you guys know the drill. You guys know the drill. I have been really trying to push myself with like doing these little makeup looks. I am trying to stick to like the colors that I just love the most, which is like blues, greens, and just like seeing all the different ways I can like put it all together. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.